let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business. Mama, please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this.
How's everybody doing? Oh, no. We're gonna get interactive now, okay? We've been sitting, we've been listening. How's everybody doing? That's what I'm talking about. So I'm Marc Nudelberg, I'm the president of On the Ball Ventures. I have to give a shout out to my dad and my brother and Shay, who made that video, who's part of our team in the crowd. We have a coaching agency that works with organizations to help them develop their people and their processes and get them 1% better a day. That song is the theme song to our daily huddle that we do every single day live on LinkedIn. So we go live, we have a community of people that are focused on setting the intention for the day and getting their mind right and finding 1% that they can do to get a little bit better. I'm gonna do a little exercise here to kind of pull my story all together for you really simply, okay? I'm gonna give an acronym. I'm gonna see if anybody can answer it based on the context that I'm giving it. So is there any football fans in the crowd? Does anybody know what an RPO is in football? Anybody? Go ahead. A run pass option, thank you. And for those of you who don't know what that means, that's a play that an offense can call that gives them the option to either run the ball or throw the ball based on what the defense does. Gives them the best opportunity to be successful on that play. Does anybody know what an RPO is in sales? Crickets? Nobody? It's a revenue-producing opportunity. And we believe that the number one way to diagnose the health of a business is to look at its pipeline. Pipeline is built on salespeople spending time, the majority of their time, on revenue-producing opportunities. Okay? I have one more for you that's an acronym that I think is at the foundation of everything good that's ever happened to me in my life. And that's RPDs. Does anybody want to give it a shot at what an RPD is? No, it has nothing to do with revenue. Relationships, process, and discipline. Everything good that's happened to me, whether it be a coaching job that I had at a Division I college, whether it be a business opportunity, whether it be somebody positive who came into my life that helped me get better, came from a relationship. It's hands down the most important factor to your success in life are the relationships that you build. So you have to spend time building them, nourishing them, and then making sure that you give them time to become fruitful. It's like a tree. You plant the seeds, you water it, you take care of it. You don't know when it's gonna give you fruit, but I promise you it'll give you fruit at some time. The P is process. I learned early on in football that all of our success was gonna come from a process. It was gonna come from how we worked out. It was gonna come from how we practiced. It was gonna come from how we went about our daily business every single day. And the keys to developing a process are keeping them simple and making them repeatable. Because you can't think about it. If you gotta get up and think about your process, you're already losing. So it can't be complicated. And it's got to be repeatable because there's gonna be days that you don't feel like doing it. There's gonna be days where there's obstacles in your way. I think we've heard everybody talk about all the kinds of obstacles that could get thrown in your way. Adversity is going to strike. And when it happens, you gotta be able to do it no matter what the circumstances are. So it's got to be simple and repeatable. And then the last one, which is so important to the process, is the discipline. And discipline to me is defined as the relentless commitment to that process, whatever it is. Whether it's getting up early, drinking something green, going to the gym, reading the Bible, whatever it is that's part of your process to get you moving in the right direction, whether it's a business development process, whether it's how you go about doing your business every day, whatever it is, it's that relentless commitment to the process, because that's what creates sustained success. Anybody can be an overnight success. Find success one time. The people who have done it over and over and over got there because they were consistent, day after day after day, getting to their process. So if you don't take anything else away from me today, RPDs, find a way to apply it to your life, apply it to your day, apply it to your business, apply it to you somehow, and I promise you it'll help you be successful. Now, I'm not here to talk about acronyms or football or RPDs. I'm here to talk about the future of sales. And that's really easy to talk about because sales is dead. That's simple. I'm done. Kidding. But what do I mean when I say sales are dead? The old school philosophy of always be closing, of hit the phones, the interrupt mentality and tactic is done. It died a long time ago. Maybe not everybody's recognized it yet, but it's dead. But how did we get there? Why were those tactics developed? Well, they were developed because it fit the world that they were made for. They were developed 50 years ago when the phone was the cool new thing. They were developed when all you could do to get someone's attention was pick up the phone, send them an email, or walk into their office. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't answered a cold email anytime recently. Have you? How about a cold call? You picking those up every time they call? How about somebody walking into your office and saying, I need to meet with you right now? How many times are you taking that meeting? Not happening, right? So we can agree that we live in a different world now. Do we agree? 1,000%? Environment's different, people are different, the way we operate is different. You know what's not different? What we train our salespeople to do, how we train them and develop them, and then the tactics we ask them to use. So we're living in a different world, yet nothing that we train them to do has changed. So we have a problem. We have a disconnect. So what do? We recognize that there's a new world. We recognize that there's new ways, and we develop a new strategy. How do you do that? Game planning is fun in football, right? You assess the opponent, you figure out what they do well, and then you figure out what you have to do in order to be successful against them. Well, the opponent is the atmosphere, is the world. You've got to figure out how to develop relationships in that world. What's the keys to success in developing a sales strategy that works today and tomorrow? 2 pillars, information and technology. Information is the commodity. Technology is the tool. We live in a world now where how you give information, how you get information, the flow of information, the access to information, the availability of information is all different than it's ever been in our entire lives. So it's on us as leaders in the room, as individuals, to develop a strategy that leverages information to create personalization. Now, I want to be clear on that because there are a lot of people who will talk about sales in today's world that believe in automation. I believe that automation belongs to marketing and personalization belongs to sales. So if we can agree that we have to develop a strategy that incorporates information to create personalization, then it becomes about, well, how do we go about leveraging that information now? What do we do with it now that we have it? Now you get to the tools. What are the tools of today that allow you to show up differently, get people's attention, develop relationships, and uncover opportunity? The biggest one is easy. It's social media. The problem is when you look at how most salespeople and sales organizations are leveraging that tool, they're taking the old school philosophy and applying it to the new tools. It doesn't work. You have to come up with a new philosophy. You have to come up with a new strategy that allows you to connect with people on a personal level, one-to-one, me to you, Not about our business, but why I'm important to being in your life. Why you and I should know each other, regardless of whether or not we do business together. If you can use that tool, you can learn how to use that in an outbound scenario, then you can also learn how to use that in an inbound scenario. You can learn how to build personal brand. You can learn how to leverage your life and your experiences and everything that goes in it in a way that turns the funnel upside down. And you have direct messages coming to you with people who want to do business with you because you're also a Jet fan, or because you also have a dog, or because they just like the way you do your business and they would like to do it with you. So if you can leverage social media that way, then you can look to the next tool, which is video. Video has revolutionized the way we communicate. Using video to show up to someone in a different way that humanizes the touch, asking for nothing other than 15 minutes and a virtual coffee, will revolutionize the way you build your pipeline, guaranteed. And we have a testimonial here, it happens to be. So, we have people that have worked with us that are here that they know this works, okay? But when you show up that way, and then you figure out how to leverage Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever other video software it is that you use to have that virtual coffee, now you've figured out a way to efficiently and effectively develop relationships in order to uncover opportunity. You're not selling anything. All you're doing is connecting and developing at scale as a human. Okay? So now, if you've stuck with me and you're, all right, I got some social media, I got some video, and you start to figure out how to use Zoom in order to have virtual coffees, then you can start using video throughout the follow-up process. You can start using it instead of having to have meetings for everything. You can start using it to send over an agreement. You can start using it to follow up and check in with somebody. You can start using it as a product demo. You can start using it in all kinds of ways to reduce the friction for the buyer and make decision-making easy. So now, back to the P, process. How do you build a repeatable process with that information and those tools? It's very simple, 3 steps. Everybody can remember 3 things. Research, contact, follow-up. In my research, how am I leveraging the information I'm finding out about what they like, who they are, and where the best place to get them is in order to contact? Once I figure out how to contact them, how am I using the new tools of today to contact? How am I using video? How am I using social media? How am I connecting with them in their content? And then follow up, stay with it, because 90% of people don't follow up. It's that simple. And so once you have your repeatable process, what does a sales professional look like in this future state of sales, which is today, by the way? They're connectors, they're educators, and they're influencers. Not an influencer like Heather. She's a big-time influencer. I don't need all my salespeople to be Heather. I need my salespeople to be centers of influence or trusted centers of information within their own network. How do you build trust with everybody within your network? You build personal brand. You start sharing your story day in, day out. You start sharing who you are, what you're about, what you do, why you do it every single day. You become the trusted center of information of your network. You'll change the way you do business. And that's what your team of people should be doing. So, very simply, can they connect? Can they educate? Can they be influencers? And then us as leaders, can we develop the training and the environment to promote that behavior? Can we change our own behavior? Can we stop telling people to hammer the phones? Can we start looking at other metrics that define people's success in sales? It's our responsibilities as leaders to make sure that we're setting them up for success and creating that future of sales, which I believe the future of sales is a highly personalized digital experience that leverages human connection that creates lasting relationships. period. You wanna know what the future of sales looks like? That's what it looks like. Thank you.